What's up everyone, and welcome to another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. I had this battle, I think, just yesterday, and this is actually against a fellow streamer named Ramos online. Really good streamer. I will leave a link to his stream in the description below. So you guys should check him out if you get a chance. Anyway, as you can see, his team is really unique. I was actually pretty excited to watch this battle. And, fair warning, a couple times in this battle, I rewatch the battles before I do them so I can commentate better and stuff, and, I made myself really mad a couple of times. I made a couple of, I don't know why, misplays, but, you'll see them as the video goes along. Anyway, let's take a look at the teams here. I'm running Sawk, Zoroark, Ampharos, Dodrio, Jellicent, and Ramen, as Ramos has, Frillish, Floette, Gardevoir, Goodra, Furfrou, and Pachirisu. Obviously, Pachirisu has had some hype since he helped win the video game championships the other day. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into the battle. I had very little idea as to what he might be leading. His team obviously is pretty interesting. So, I led with Sawk simply because I knew I could hit everything on his team except for Goodra with super effective damage. And he leads with Pachirisu, which is good for me. So, I went for Earthquake. You know, it's just a Pachirisu, right? Yeah, well, he tanks that actually pretty easily. He does about 75%, and he's got a Citrus Berry. So, yeah, he is really bulky. Bulkier than I ever thought. And obviously, he's going to go for Nuzzle, which serves two purposes. Obviously, gets the automatic paralysis. And it's going to break Sawk sturdy, so I'm kind of crippled. And now he's going to go for Volt Switch, get out of there. Obviously, he doesn't want to take an Earthquake. It actually crits and does a pretty decent amount, so Pachirisu is already on a roll. And he's going to switch into Furfrou. Furfrou is going to have that, what's it called? Cotton Guard? No, it's not Cotton Guard. Fur Coat ability, which, you know, has damage he takes from physical attacks. I get paralyzed, doesn't really matter. Earthquake would have done absolute nuts. I'm predicting here for him to go for Return or some kind of normal attack, so I switch into Jellicent. I know I can burn it. And that'll serve me pretty well. But he actually switches out. Obviously, I don't think there's much he can do to me outside of maybe Sucker Punch. He's going to switch into Pachirisu. And I'm just going to go ahead and get the Will-O-Wisp on that. Now, my first thought here was he was going to Nuzzle again to paralyze something else. Now, I could have killed him with Hex after the Nuzzle, assuming I get Parahaxed. But I didn't want to get the Parahax on two different Pokemon. So instead, I switched back into Sawk. And, you know, either he thought he could kill me with that, or I don't know, or he predicted the switch and he just goes for Volt Switch instead. That would allow him to live a Hex, obviously. He wouldn't have had to take it. So he's going to switch into Gardevoir at this point. Gardevoir's going to trace my sturdy. Typically, I have Poison Jab. It sucks I'm paralyzed because that would be a one-hit. It is actually one-hitted on before on a Mega Gardevoir. So it's unfortunate that I got the paralysis there. I really thought I could kill that little Pachirisu, but unfortunately not the case. So, Sawk's not going to serve me much purpose in the rest of the battle, so being he's only like half HP and paralyzed, he can't take many heart attacks anymore, so just going to let him die. Alright, so at this point, I bring in my Dodrio. He is a banded set with Brave Bird. Very little can handle that if it's neutral. Everything on his team takes it neutrally, except for Pachirisu. And he switches into his Furfrou. Again, that Fur Coat ability kicking in here. Even a banded Brave Bird, I know, is probably not even going to be a 2-hit KO. So it is a solid 3-hit KO. He is a Rocky Helmet set, which makes sense. He's supposed to walk out physical attacks anyway. So I'm going to get out of there because I don't want to rack up damage and lose Dodrio so soon. I'm going to switch into Tangrowth. I switched in because I figured he'd predict me to go into Jellicent and not go for Return, but he went for Return. Either way, it doesn't really matter to me. Obviously, I'm not going to take anything. So at this point, he's going to withdraw. I believe I went for Knockoff, and he switches into Pachirisu here. Pachirisu is missing his Citrus Berry. Watch his damage. I don't care that he's missing his Citrus Berry. Look at that crap. That is ridiculous. That thing is so bulky. Unfortunately for him, though, he's at low enough HP. All I have to do is protect off, and that Pachirisu will go away. That thing, I swear, is way bulkier than I give it credit for. I knew it had a lot of special bulk, but I think he must be running a max defense set. Obviously, he's taking Earthquakes to the face. Anyway, he's going to switch into his Goodra here. Vanilla. I like that name when it's shiny. Kind of looks like that. I don't want to take anything to the face. Unfortunately here, I believe he made the prediction. I was debating in my head because I'm pretty sure I could take... okay. I was pretty sure I could take one super effective attack from Goodra and get a knockoff, but I didn't want to risk it. So I switch into Jellicent, and he obviously takes no damage. At this point now, I can pretty easily just go for Will-O-Wisp and try to mess with this thing. But he's going to go back into his Mega Gardevoir here. Now that's okay for me because I know that after a Hex, while he's burned, that I can kill it. And I'm pretty sure that even with like Psyshock or Shadow Ball or whatever the case may be, that there's no way he's going to take me out in one shot. Psyshock's probably his best bet, even if he's got like Shadow Ball, because of the fact that my physical defense is much lower. But he carries Energy Ball, which is neither here nor there. It's the same as Shadow Ball. Does a solid 40% or so, about a 3-hit KO there. And I'm going to get the Hex off. And he actually balks it out, but unfortunately not enough to live the burn. So Gardevoir goes down. This is one OU Pokemon. So that's good. He's annoying. He killed Sock. Not much else though. So he goes down. So at this point, I'm looking okay in the battle. He's going to bring in, I believe this is his, yeah, this is Flabébé. Now, I went for Will-O-Wisp here. Unfortunately, I missed, which sucks. And he gets the Calm Mind off, which sucks more. This thing is, I know it's going to be Eviolated. He's got 2 Eviolated users on his team with Floette, excuse me, and Frillish. So, pretty bulky team here when you consider Pachirisu, Goodra, Furfrou. Gardevoir is even pretty bulky team. So I'm going to switch out here. I was actually hoping he'd get greedy and go for another Calm Mind, so I bring in, because I don't think Dodrio could take a +1 Moonblast. And I was right, he got greedy, which is good. If he didn't get greedy there, I had to make that right prediction, because if I didn't, and he went for Moonblast, I was going to die. So, risky play there, but I had to do it. So now he's forced to switch. He cannot take a Brave Bird, even if he's Eviolated. He switches back into Furfrou here. So at this point, I can two-hit Furfrou from where he's at, which is nice. Unfortunately, almost every Furfrou I've ever seen carries Sucker Punch. So I'm just going to go for that Brave Bird. It takes him down into the red, which is great. But after Rocky Helmet and Recall, I'm around 40 HP. Exactly 40. And I switched because I was pretty positive that I couldn't take a Sucker Punch from where I was at. So instead, I bring in Tang. And he does go for Sucker Punch. Now, unfortunately here, I did not expect this. He has Rest, which is nice. So all that HP I did is completely useless. Now he's going to get all the way back up to max. Did I just go for knockoff here? Yeah, that was actually probably a misplay anyway. As you saw, it didn't kill even from where he was. I should have just went for Giga Drain, honestly, because that would have killed from where he was at. So that's a small misplay. It didn't hurt me because he went for Rest, but still. So at this point, he's going to switch into Goodra again. Now, again, I was like, can I live one? This is the Giga Drain on his switch, by the way. That isn't what I did to it. I kind of thought it was for a second. I was like, wait, what? Anyway, I switch out. I didn't want to go for it, and this is the point where I was mad at myself, because I know I can take one attack. There's no reason for me not to. I switched, and he predicted it and went for Thunderbolt. That would have been so easy to get the knockoff going, get rid of that Assault Vest, and really start to rack up some damage on this annoying thing. But that misplay isn't that bad, but it was a misplay. Anyway, he's just going to go for Dragon Balls. He knows another Thunderbolt won't kill me. I guess he's just trying for anything. Hopefully he gets more damage on the stab or something. I don't know. But either way, it doesn't really mean anything. I'm going to get the Recover off and go all the way back up to about 75% health or so, which is good. So I can completely wall this Goodra as long as I want to if I have Recover. So at this point, I'm going for Will-O-Wisp. I'm pretty sure he's predicting that. So he goes into Furfrou again, and obviously Furfrou is not going to take it because he's asleep. Which is aight. That's not a big deal. Now, I probably could have stayed in here, went for Scald. This thing's special defense isn't amazing. He's obviously on Assault Vest set. He carries Rest. But he switches into, that is Flabébé again. And I actually double switch into Ampharos. Now, off the top of my head, even though I know I transform into Dragon when I Mega, I'm pretty positive I have the advantage here because it's just the Floette, right? And I have 165 special attack. So I'm going to go into Mega here, and I'm just going to fire off a quick Thunderbolt. I was actually thinking it'd be a 2-hit KO. I really did think it was going to be a 2-hit KO. But It ends up being like a 3-hit KO, and he goes for Calm Mind. Now this is where I think he made a little bit of a misplay. Now obviously I lose speed when I Mega, or Ampharos does anyway. So he outspeeds me this turn. Watch his damage, this is crazy. +1 Moonblast from a freaking Floette, and it does almost all of my HP. What? Pretty crazy. So, I thought he was going to kill me, but he went for Wish, which was really weird. I wasn't sure why. I thought maybe he thought he could live one. I don't know. If he did live one, he could have killed me with Moonblast and then gotten a lot of his HP back, which would have been nice for him, but I don't know why he went for it, but he had to think he would have lived one. Anyway, he goes back into Goodra here. There's nothing I could do. I mean, even if he set up or something weird and I got a Dragon Pulse off, he would have gotten most of it back with that Wish anyway. So he's just going to take me out. I had no HP anyhow. And it allows me for a decent counter switch. I am at a 4-on-3 situation here, so again, it's still looking in my favor. So I'm going to go back into Dodrio here. Now, I predicted him to switch, so instead I went for Pursuit. I'm banded, like I said, so it's like 80 base power, I think. I really thought I'd do more than that. Goodra is bulky, though, and it's not stab or anything, so not like it was a super powerful attack. Next attacking this Furfur. This Furfur was a pain in my ass all game. I'm going to switch out here because he's asleep, but what am I going to do? I'm locked into Pursuit at that point, and he's not going to switch, so, you know. I'm going to go back into Tang here. He's asleep, and here's where some misplays started on my part, honestly. He stayed in. That's okay. I went for Leech Seed, and, you know, no matter what he switched into, I was going to get that off, which was, you know, always a good thing for me to do. It helps me, you know, rack up a little bit of damage as I get some HP back. Here's misplay number 1. There was no reason for him to stay in there. He was asleep, all that other crap. I don't know why I thought he would, and I went for Giga Drain. Honestly, I should have either just at least went for another second Leech Seed, or at least went for Knockoff to get rid of something, but I didn't. So finally at this point, I was like, you know what, I know I can live one. I did a Flamethrower, and I get the Knockoff going, and that does a lot of damage, and I could have done that a lot sooner. And I didn't, so that's annoying, but whatever. Got a Assault Vessel, which is good eventually, and here, I believe, is where I wanted to smack myself in the face. I bring in Jellicent. He goes for Dragon Pulse. That's his best choice, because he probably thought I was going to switch, but didn't want to risk going for Thunderbolt, because, you know, Tang probably lived that. So he goes for Thunderbolt at this point. It's about a 3-hit KO from where I'm at after leftovers. And I just went for Scald. Trying to get a burn, you know, fair enough. Not a big deal. That's absolutely nothing. If I would have to burn, that'd been nice, but whatever. Now at this point, all I have to do is hit Recover. That's it. Hit Recover. Just hit Recover, and all my HP comes back, and I can tank him out and kill him. But for whatever god-awful reason, I decided to go for Hex. I swear, this is one of the worst plays I've ever watched myself make. I've recorded a lot of YouTube videos. I've watched back a lot of battles I've done. I have no worldly idea why I did that. Like, sitting here, I'm blown away by that play. And obviously, he's going to smash me with Thunderbolt. So, I wasted Jealous. Seriously, that makes me mad watching it. Anyway, I'm going to bring back in Dodrio here. Actually, this isn't Dodrio, I'm lying. This is, Zoroark, obviously he's at max HP. He had to know that, Dodrio was at like 40 HP. He's gonna switch into, his little, Frillish here. I'm gonna go for Dark Pulse, because I'm Zoroark. I could've went for Nasty Plot, but I wasn't really sure he'd switch. That takes him down to like 1 HP. He's gonna go for Nightshade. That actually turned out to be a pretty big deal. Gonna break my illusion, obviously. I look, what, 50 HP. And I can kill him with Dark Pulse. I really, really wish I would have, you know, flinched or killed there, because that would have helped me a lot. But I didn't, and that's okay. So he switches into Furfro here. I'm pretty sure Return's coming, because he's gonna wake up this turn. I'm just gonna go for Dark Pulse. And he blocked that okay. Again, no flinch, though, and he's gonna get the return off. Actually, surprisingly, I lived that, which I didn't think I would. Misplay here. Sucker Punch obviously is coming. I at least could have went for Nasty Plot, at least. And then made it a guessing game whether or not I was going to go for Nasty Plot again. And here's the biggest misplay of the game, I think. I brought in Dodrio. I completely forgot he had Sucker Punch. And surprisingly, I live it, which is cool. And I can kill the Furfrou, which is nice. But I'm going to die to recoil, and it leaves a crippled Ramen in against the Goodra. I could have easily switched into Tang and went for Giga Drain, you know? And even if he brought in Goodra, it actually would have helped me if he killed me on that Sucker Punch, because I could at least Giga Drained Ramen's health back to nice HP. Excuse me, I forgot to say Dodrio was dead. And yeah, and now I know I can't live a flamethrower from Goodra, because I'm just a Tangrowth. I was begging him to live, and it's just too much to ask of Ramen. He doesn't have enough special block, and I go down. And that's the end of the battle, guys. I lost. QQ. Like I said, I made some very, very bad plays. Letting Jellicent die was beyond all reason. There was no reason for me to let him die there when I could have just recovered. I forgot about Sucker Punch. I could have brought in Ramen and simply just Giga Drained him off. And if he switched into Goodra, I could have sacked Dodrio, brought back in Tang to tank one attack, killed him with Leech Seed, then walled off Furfrou. I don't know. Either way, if I brought in Tang against that freaking Furfrou, I pretty much had it locked up. And I didn't, because I forgot about Sucker Punch. In my head, I went, I could Brave Bird this to death, and then I'll live recoil, and then I can Brave Bird Goodra to death, and I win. And I forgot he had Sucker Punch, even though I made that prediction earlier. But, you know, I guess I don't want to play the greatest games, but it was a really close battle, which is why I put it up here. Incredibly close 1-0 with that Goodra living with, like, what, 5 HP or something ridiculous. If I could have barely balked off that flamethrower. I went for Leech Seed, which would have killed him. But anyway, it was a fun battle, and Ramos is a really good streamer, really good dude. So like I said, check him out. There's going to be a link to his stream in the description. And thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch the video. Make sure you guys leave a like if you enjoyed the battle. If you guys are new here, make sure you subscribe as well. I get out content as much as possible. If you guys happen to find me on YouTube, please check me out on Twitch. I stream 6 days a week from Sunday through Friday. It's over at www.twitch.tv/xchriscorbane. There'll be a link to my stream in the description below as well. And that's it for me, you guys. I will see you guys in the next video.